It's Black History Month. Let's get it. I'm African. Valerie's African.
I am. Yes.
So I am Nigerian. Mm-hmm. My parents were born in Nigeria back in the 60s. And they got married in 95. They had their first kid in Africa. Then they came here to New Jersey. And then I was born.
Why New Jersey?
That's where all the Africans are.
Yeah.
JFK Airport and everything. So.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is Tanzanian, right below Kenya. I feel like I have to say that every time because literally no one knows where that is. Yeah, she came here in her 20s, and then she just started some random corporate job in like DC because she was like, okay, yeah, I need a job.
Yeah.
Actually, she started teaching people Swahili because like it was a really big thing in like the 2000s, like learn Swahili because it's becoming like the lingua franca of like
The Lion King?
Yeah, that too. So she started teaching a bunch of like white people like Swahili, and so that's how she like made like a little bit of cash here and there. And then she came to Dallas because that's where all the Africans are. Yeah. Like Frisco, that area. Yeah, now we're here in Wiley. How'd you end up in Wiley?
Well, we moved here to Texas when I was 3, and we lived there for a few years in McKinney. Mm-hmm. And then we moved here to Wiley. I think it's because housing was cheaper at the time.
Oh, yeah.
So, and we've been here since.
We moved to Wiley. My mom was like, we need to move to a better demographic.
Yeah, what was the situation?
It was just a shooting, some random apartment complex things. So she was like, yeah, we need to move somewhere a little bit more suburban. Mm-hmm. And now I'm here in Wiley. Yeah. It seems like people hit Garland first.
Yeah.
We went straight.
Yeah.
We hit straight for Wiley. My mom knew exactly what she was doing. So how many siblings do you have?
5. I am number 4 of 6.
Are you having middle child syndrome?
Yes, it sucks. It's really bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it. It's bad.
I'm the oldest, so
how many siblings do you have?
I have 1. See, my mom was never married, so I only have 1 sibling. I'm the oldest, obviously first generation daughter things. I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna be a doctor. Just things like that. So that's just my situation as oldest child thing.
How was your childhood, like growing up and everything?
Growing up, it was interesting because I had to. Well, it's like at home, right? Mm-hmm. Like that was not America. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. So like you step out on the doormat. Outside is where the real world is. Inside is like a little chunk.
It's Africa.
It's a little chunk of Africa right there. I mean, you walk in and the pH of the whole house is completely different.
It smells different.
Just the smell,
different
everything,
vibe.
Completely different vibe. You drop whatever you were doing.
Stand a little taller.
Right. Childhood. Well, I had to learn English as a second language because I lived in Tanzania for a while and I completely forgot all of English. Yeah. And so I had to come here and like learn English, but I learned it pretty fast because I like to read. So I just kept reading and stuff. So I just learned it, whatever. But it was really interesting. I got to get used to like the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh yeah. Whatever that is. And then I had to get used to the Texas pledge. Oh yeah. Whatever that is too. I had extreme ADHD growing up, so my childhood is a blur.
Dang. Mine is completely different.
Really?
I got bullied.
You got bullied?
I got bullied. I was African booty scratcher. We talked about this earlier. Yeah, because like in today's society now, being African is cool.
Oh yeah.
You see everyone wearing African clothing
Cornrows
and everything. Back in the day, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. You couldn't play basketball with them because you were African. You couldn't participate in all the games because no one wanted to be with the African.
You were chosen last.
But now everyone's. I saw this one post on social media. It was a picture of Africa, and they wrote Compton over it. Africa's the cool thing now, so everyone just hops on it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like. One part of me feels like, okay, Black Americans need to know their heritage. That's cool. But when it's like I don't even know, like Tommy Lawhern, whatever her name is, and she's like, I'm 0.0005% Nigerian, y'all. I'm like, really? This is where it's come. Yeah. Like, I hate that Africa's like a trend now.
exactly.
I literally hate it. I literally hate it. I can't stand it because I remember in like second grade when my braids fell out, and this dude picked it up, swung it around like a lasso, like a lasso, and I had to bring it back in my backpack, and my mom's like cleaning it out. I'm like, no, this is not gonna happen again.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and everyone's done a complete 180.
Yeah.
Wants to be all Bob Marley and stuff. You know, all about it. I'm like, where were y'all? Where's the consistency?
Exactly. I'm saying.
And it's not even that. It's like it was Black Americans too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Because like, I feel like, not to be like not to generalize people, but I feel like the two sides at one point they were just not with each other.
Oh no.
They were just not, and now it's like they're taking each other. Which is there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with like merging cultures or anything. It's just that all of a sudden, just because it's cool, it's not like.
Yeah, it's not even because it's like, oh, let's appreciate like whatever. It's like, oh yeah, that's dope.
My bro died. How YouTube day? It's like,
let's put it in a music video. Let's do this. It's like
Drake.
Drake.
Yeah, exactly.
This man is Canadian. No excuse.
Yeah.
No excuse, like at all. Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of like a slap in the face.
Yeah.
That too, because it's like, man, the stuff our parents had to go through.
Yeah.
It's just like immigrating here, and now all of a sudden it's like the best thing in the world or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well,
something's not adding up.
Now, they came here for like us, for like education and everything.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, we came here for y'all. Y'all better like get good grades and everything because that's what you're here for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That the thing is though is that like I feel like our parents were like, you just need to pick and choose what cultures you want to be a part of.
Yeah.
You know, but it's really hard to do that when everything is just so
Exactly.
merged together.
It's like I can't go to school because like in Nigeria they have a specific way of greeting people. Like you know how Chinese bow and stuff, and Americans they just say hi, wave, and stuff, which I don't have a problem with. I'm very comfortable with just waving at someone. But in African, like in Nigeria specifically, Western African culture, it's like a little bend down while you shake their hands.
Are you kidding?
Bow your head. Yeah. Like that.
We have the exact same
Really?
thing. The exact same thing, except we have to say something first. You say "shkamon" to your
hello, sir. Or something like that.
No, but it's like the bend,
Yeah.
and if you're a girl, head down.
Yeah. And so like that's what my dad expects me to do when I see relatives or anything. But if I'm at school, I can't be doing that to people
That's
at
what
school.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I can go up to my teacher, hello ma. Like she could be like, who is this? Like
Right.
what are you doing? African booty scratcher. Like, they just
Exactly.
maybe not today because it's cool, but like back then.
Yeah, today you'd probably be posted on social media. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, look at the mix of our cultures
My
together.
African student is greeting me in his traditional way.
Now she
I'm-
pulls out the camera.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's really hard to like be a part of two different things. It's like you turn off one and you turn on the other, but our brains really just don't work like that.
Yeah, like now I've just learned to like do whatever.
Yeah, do whatever.
Just that's it.
And yeah, it's like really hard because it's like so like you'll forget what you're supposed to be in that moment because
Exactly.
you're just trying to like vibe so hard. So it's like walk up to a relative and you're like, wait, hold up, what am I supposed to do? Give me a second.
What's up, uncle? Ah, you say what's up to me? Like, oh man, here we go.
No, and then it's like some uncles are like, nah, you don't have to do any of that.
They've
It's
accepted the other
chill.
culture.
I'm like, so which one is it? Can we choose?
Exactly. It's so funny how it's like not just Western African, or it's just all Africans.
Oh
it's the
no,
same way.
it's Africa all around. The
Yeah.
only difference is our foreheads.
Yeah, honestly.
The only difference is our foreheads. I mean, yeah, that's what I like about Africa. I think it's like all together. It's such a good unison type of
Yeah.
situation because like here it's like a big melting pot, so it's really easy to have like one side, one side, one side, one
Yeah.
side. Unless it's tribal, we're literally all Africans. It has nothing to do with anything. Crossing the border to Kenya is the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Is the easiest thing in the world. They don't even question you as long as you speak the language.
Exactly.
They don't question
Yeah.
it. They don't question it at all.
It's so much easier because my dad, he travels to Nigeria all the time and he's always driving. He's like, I went to Benin the other day. They just drive. That's it. It's still crazy over there though, but it's so easy to.
Oh yeah. Honestly, the only like what's the word I'm looking for? the only situations that are going on in Africa literally has nothing to do with actual Africans.
Yes, and that's what they put in the news and everything. It's like Africa, it's home to all these terrorists and everything.
I'm like, no, who put them there?
Yeah.
Who did all that? Who did all that?
It's just Africa's just not portrayed well in the media at all.
No, Africa's never been portrayed
Like,
well in the media. And we
I've
all
never
know
been there before,
why.
but like I've seen pictures and videos from when my parents go, and it's like,
Uh-huh.
oh, when I was younger, I was like, whoa, where are the lions and and the
Uh-huh.
zebras? That's a building. It's not made out of mud. Like, how is that?
Right. Because here it's like, oh, look at Africa, like $1 a day feeds.
Yeah.
I'm like driving through like my home city, right, and it's literally just like the most beautiful
Yeah.
architecture in the world, and I'm like, where is that? Where is that? Like, where are those photos?
Yeah.
We would like to see them, but
Yeah.
I mean, no, and we all know why, you know, and it's like colonialism just did us dirty, because why one of the reasons why I like really loved Black Panther, not because of the superhero stuff, but like literally because they had a whole place in Africa that was like, what would have happened if none of, you know, all of that had happened, right? And it's just such a beautiful city. It's like
Yeah.
the most like advanced technology. We had it all. We literally had
All
it
the
all.
resources.
The only thing we did though is mind our business. That's the only thing we did. We just minded our business,
I
went
feel
on our
like
days.
If everyone just minded their own business
Mm-hmm.
and we just like all interact with each other rather than just like take over, it would have turned out way better.
I don't know if we were saying we.
Yeah.
There's only one group of people who did not mind their business. It honestly makes me so upset, because it's like all those like the education, all those kids out there have like no idea what Africa could have been. I mean,
Yeah.
just so rich in natural resources. Wow. No, like in a different future, I swear, like a different universe, parallel something, there has to be a universe out there where like Africa is the richest continent, because
Yeah.
it literally would have made sense that way.
Things are getting a little better though, like, cause like they're taking all their kids to America, so they have like a better opportunity, and so more access to like better education and everything, and so those students are the ones who are like performing really well, and so they go back and like there's this one guy, he developed a software in Nigeria, and Microsoft bought it for like $50 million or something like that. Like, so they're starting to get back.
Get back.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the way it's supposed to be. Like our parents bring us here, and then we go back and
Okay.
do whatever we need to do there.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that one. I'm not going. Like, I like it here.
I like it here.
I like
too.
it.
I like it here too. Hold on.
Like, I'm proud to be African and everything. I'm proud of where I come from, but I like it here, and I just can't go back to how super strict they are and
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
I just
It's
wouldn't.
the only problem I have with our culture is just the conservatism, like the way they structure like parenting is not working out.
strict.
Uh-huh.
There's so many Africans out there, like African children who are living here, who struggle with like anger issues or bipolarism just because how they grew up with those hostile. I don't want to say hostile.
Hostile. Are you kidding? Yes, aggressive
Yeah.
parenting. Aggressive. It's to the point where there are spoons in my house, right, that
Specifically for
there are spoons in my house that are broken.
Oh,
and it's
man.
just get the spoon
Yeah.
out. Get the spoon out.
We always buy new hangers because Yeah.
Yup, new hangers. No, my childhood, love my mom, but wow,
Yeah.
if I ever have kids, that's changing.
I'm
up.
changing a lot of things. Like, I'm happy with how I like ended up. They did a lot of things well. They did things well, but there are so many things that were just so wrong.
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing that to my own children.
Yeah, they did a lot of things well, I would say.
Yeah.
Like hospitality wise. We got it in the bag.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Like no one goes hungry. You know,
Yeah.
take the shirt off your back. Things like that.
Yeah.
Like things that actually matter to like people.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like ideas,
They don't believe in like mental
concepts-
illness. I think
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
They think like
Literally.
everyone is a brick and they can just handle everything.
Oh yeah, everyone's like a blank slate.
Yeah.
You just like clean yourself, let it go. And
As
just
long
keep
as it's not
going.
physical harm.
Oh yeah. As long as you're not physically like dead,
Yeah.
whatever, you're like fine. I hate that because it's like I give you a roof over your head.
Depression. Stop it.
What is that? Like
Yeah.
no.
That's just. I guess just that's how it is.
Yeah, it is. But like the same way it goes, it's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you know, like but back home, like people aren't necessarily like worried about the top part of that pyramid where it's like art and things like that and like expression, whatever. See, here in America, we had all our needs covered. We had a roof, we had food, stable job, whatever. So we could start worrying about the other things. I mean, that's just pure psychology.
Yeah.
Nothing. Just water off a duck's back. They do not care.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Africans.
I'm trying so hard to not make it seem like I'm mad, but like literally it's just wow.
Yeah, that's why like a lot of kids just move out.
Oh yeah.
Like some, like I'm lucky. I'm sure you're lucky as well, but some kids just don't end up well because of it. Like they end up getting addicted to drugs or getting with the wrong, because strict parents create sneaky kids.
Yeah.
So when you're a little too sneaky, you can get with the wrong crowd, and that happens to a lot of students.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just I've seen it firsthand. Like, but here's the thing though, like African parents love to be really like secretive and like with their children. Yeah. They'll go out for brunch with all their little friends and say something like, "Oh yeah, my kids are doing great. My kids are doing great." And so my mom will come back, "Why can't you be more of like her kids?" And I'm like, "Do y'all actually know those kids?"
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Like I don't speak my parents' language, so every time they're talking to each other, they speak in their native tongue. So I'm just sitting there. I hear my name pop up. I'm like, yes. I'm like, no, sit down. And they're just talking. It's like I can't catch on to what they're saying.
See, I can speak Swahili, right? But we have like different tribal like mother tongues, right? From before Swahili was like the thing, and they'll start speaking Swahili. I walk into the room, they're like still speaking Swahili, and I'm like, okay, so what did you just say? So like, can you explain this? Can you explain this? Like, what are you talking about? So now they just speak in their tribal language, and I get so mad. Like, if you really have something to say, you don't have to go 4 levels deep into a language.
And what I wonder is like families that, because I rarely hear my parents speak English to each other, like ever. So I wonder what it's like for families who all speak the same language. I've always wondered it because I've never seen it. Like,
I don't know. Maybe like sit around and like actually talk.
Yeah, maybe they feel comfortable telling their mom about.
Or they like don't talk, and that's weird.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine my house silent.
No. Yeah.
I can't imagine my house silent.
My dad, he's always on WhatsApp. I don't like being in public with my parents. Not because they're like
videos.
They're on their phone yelling and screaming.
It's a preacher always a video on WhatsApp. Someone just pops up, and they play it so loud. Oh my god! It's to the point where it's like they're in a separate room, and I can't sleep at night because I'm listening to whatever preacher.
Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I hear some lady belching as they're watching some African movie. It's just like I'm trying to sleep.
Can we talk about African movies?
Oh.
I'm sorry, West Africa did it the best. I know.
You think so?
Yes.
What?
Yo, the movies are hilarious.
No. Oh my god.
Hilarious. The fact that y'all have like multiple slow-mo scenes when someone's like dying, it's incredible. It's incredible.
I can't do them. My sisters, they watch Nollywood movies all the time. I just can't. I can't do the acting.
Oh yeah.
Like even when it's a serious scene, it's a serious movie. I just can't help but dying of laughter. It's just like, what are these effects? And the acting is not good.
No, people when they remember that video that went viral like literally 4 years ago, and it was like, why are you running?
Yes.
And everyone was like, oh my god, that's so funny. I'm like, no, that's like literally 2 seconds of the plot. Watch the whole thing.
I've seen a clip from before, and I just can't. I can't do those movies.
It's incredible. I love them. Obviously, they're not like good movies.
Yeah, they're just fun to watch.
They're just fun to watch.
Have you heard of Saving Captain Alex? Oh my gosh. It's a movie with a $200 budget, right?
Naturally. It's called Saving Captain Alex.
I don't even know how to... You just have to check it out. It's about... I don't know what it's about. It's just a bunch of action. It's just action. And the thing is, the guy had it on his like HP laptop from like 2004, right? So once he finished production, he had to delete it off his laptop for space purposes.
Oh, naturally, naturally.
Oh, you just
space purposes.
You gotta check it out. Check. It's so bad.
Yep, I'm gonna look that up right after this.
Oh man. Okay, so I was raised Christian. I was raised in a Christian household and everything. My parents are pastors. And
are y'all like non-denominational Christian?
Non-denomination, yeah. So yeah, my dad, he's a senior pastor at our church. we have one branch here in Texas, one in New Jersey, and then we have like 5 in Africa.
What was that like growing up with like a pastor as like a dad?
It's not as bad as what it like seems like, because you see a
Right.
lot of like in movies and everything, the pastor's kid is actually the bad one,
Oh,
or stuff like that. It's
absolutely.
not that bad. My parents are gone a lot because they travel a lot, but other than that, there's 6 of us.
Yeah.
Me and my 5 other siblings, we managed to be fine on our own. So
Yeah.
nothing too bad.
Are like all of y'all still like with that same
Mhm.
like belief and
Yeah.
things like that?
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I grew up Catholic. Help. No, it was no, for like the first like 7-8 years of my life it like made sense. And then I actually started paying attention to what they were saying, and it just didn't make sense. But my mom, on the other hand, is like very, very Catholic. I
Yeah.
mean, I've never met a woman who's more religious than my mom. She is incredible. I mean, rosaries, rosaries on the wrist, rosaries on the neck. Everyone has to have a rosary on before they go to bed. I mean, prayer in the morning, prayer at night, prayer at lunch. Like, no, everything involves like a prayer. It's beautiful to watch, but man, that like force.
Oh, they force it on that. Growing up, my parents never forced it on me. Like, yeah, I've gone to church like every single week. Like, I've never missed a church service except for
Naturally.
like band trips or something. But they never like forced me into the faith. Like, they were never like, oh, you need to believe this or you're not in my house or anything. It's just they let me figure it out for myself. Like, and they were all the resources I need because they're pastors. So I never had that problem.
Right.
So it was just easy for me. It was never like a force or anything.
Nah, my mom, because like, I understand, because imagine like believing your child is literally not going to heaven.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I would feel such a pressure from like Jesus, you know, to like make my child go to heaven, obviously. So she did everything she could, but it just doesn't resonate. But like also like the whole like forcing your kids to be something, like your parents did you right, like they let you choose.
Yeah,
And-
well, not major. Well, that's a different story. That's a different story.
They didn't let you choose what?
My major at first. Well, because growing up, they were like, you're an engineer, computer, and I was like, as a kid, I was like, yeah, I love computers and everything. But over time, I started to like go away from it. I was like, oh my gosh. Because if I'm the computer guy, everyone comes to me for help and like, help me with my WhatsApp. Like, I don't know your password. Like, how am I gonna help you out log in? And so over time, I just started like hating it. And so a few months ago, I decided to major in political science because
Yeah.
like I like politics. I like how the government works and everything. I
Right.
still do. And my dad was like, no. I don't like it. I don't like computer science. What business can you make with it? And I was like, well, I'm not trying to be an entrepreneur. I'm just trying to like become a politician, you know, make my way up. And they were not for it. They still like they weren't gonna stop me from applying to college. And so on all my college applications, political science and everything was on my application.
That's good.
They were just not a fan of it. They're
Right.
like, no, I want
Because
you
they
to do
don't see
this.
how it can make you money. It's because African parents do not, I repeat, do not care about American politics. I mean, that is
Yeah.
the
Well-
last thing on their mind.
My dad does, not my mom.
Your dad does?
He's a pastor, so.
Oh, okay. So
My
that's
mom
like a
doesn't care as
thing
much.
for
Yeah.
religious purposes. My mom could. She does not care.
Really?
She does not care. She will turn it on. Oh no, we have CNN playing constantly. She knows what's going on. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. She goes, as long as it's pro-life, I'm chilling. I'm like, wait. I'm like, wait. Yeah, you know, literally anything to like, yeah, I guess the religion part, anything to help out Catholicism, she is for.
Really?
Anything else is a no-go. She has no clue what she's talking about.
Interesting.
She has no clue what she's
Really?
talking
I've
about.
never heard that before.
Yup.
No way.
My
Huh.
mom doesn't care about American politics, not even a little bit.
Wow.
Not even a little bit. She's like, how do they run this country here? What? Okay.
I think it's my
cares?
dad. I think my dad's the reason why I like politics so much.
Oh,
Like, 'cause
you turned it around on him.
if we're not listening to Christian radio, like in a drive, it's always NPR. So I'm always hearing the news like Donald Trump, this. And it's just like, oh wow, this is very interesting. Like,
Yeah.
And I think that just got to me. Like I'm not majoring in computer science, political science anymore.
Okay.
But that was my own choice. I'm
Yeah,
doing computer
yeah.
science, which I really.
Wait.
I hate it
Your dad
because
ghost
I'm
wrote
proving
this.
them right, but at the same time, it's like, it's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Because I want to work in the business world too,
Mhm.
but I don't want to get a business major because business is not all I want to do.
Yeah.
So like, and I'm good at computers. So that's what I want to do. It's not my dad. I want him to know that it wasn't his forcing that made me do that.
Right.
I don't want to make him happy like that. But yeah, pretty much. I've changed my major now.
I
but
mean, that's
politics,
good. That's
yeah.
good.
Mhm.
Well, speaking of politics, let's talk a little bit Black History Month. You know, I heard an argument, literally last period. Why do we need Black History Month? I think all months should be Black History Month and All Lives Matter, you know, whatever. And I was like, yeah, okay. I don't know how I feel about that. Because on one hand, it's like, obviously all lives matter.
Yeah.
Duh, like that's a given. But I mean, all lives matter was not used for that context anyways, so it doesn't even matter. But also, like, I mean, yeah, I think we should get the month.
I feel like it's good to talk about our history.
Yeah.
It's good. We've come a long way. That's the thing. We've come a long way.
Yeah.
Like from slavery, and I know people say slavery was a thing beforehand, but like chattel slavery was racist.
Yeah.
It was against African Americans, and we've come such a long way to where we've had black people in politics. We've had a
Yeah.
black president, you know? Like we just had a light skin win the Super Bowl. Like we've come a really long way from being slaves to being
Yeah.
the best of the best.
Yeah.
And that's something that we should celebrate.
The thing is, though, is that like the way I feel is like my family were never like my mom is the first my mom was the first person
Yeah.
in my family to step foot on American
Yeah,
soil.
same.
So it's like I like on one hand it's like my family were never slaves, but I
Mhm.
still have to deal with that here
Yeah.
as an African American because apparently we all look the same.
As a kid, I thought my ancestors were slaves.
That's what I'm
Just-
saying. They were like slavery happened,
They're
and I'm like, oh my god, my
Your
family.
ancestors were slaves.
I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, oh my god, mom, were our ancestors slaves? She's like, what? We migrated from Sudan
Yeah.
millions of years ago.
My
What
last
is
name
this?"
explains it all. Like, I'm sorry. Okay, but like, slaves, they took the last names of their owners. So when they
Right,
have
right.
a last name like, let's say Lincoln or Samson, I don't know.
Yes,
Just
yes.
I don't know.
Smith.
But that Smith.
Smith.
Like, that explains it. My last name is Olajimi. People, it's really easy to pronounce, but people still struggle with the name. So
Naturally.
you know it's an African name.
Right,
Like,
right. I came straight from the motherland.
But like, it's still good that we celebrate how far we've come because
Yeah.
it's not only African American. The country has come a long way from, and I think it's just something all Americans should celebrate because
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
the world is watching us.
like,
You know.
right. We're put on a pedestal, and it's like, how are we gonna treat people we have wronged before in the past? I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at like other countries, I mean, Germans are literally still doing reparations for Jewish people to this day. Like, that is something they're like active about,
Yeah.
and it's like the United States can barely get through a month without people complaining about it. It's like literally the third day out.
I think what it is that people just don't understand, like, because you know history is taught differently depending on the region, and so they just
Yeah.
don't know.
That too. It's like literally in the South, like what, like the I mean, Texas is like better, right? But it's like places like
Mississippi, Alabama.
places where like the SAT score is like 50.
Stop.
I'm literally just saying. I'm literally just saying. But it's like they purposely put that out of textbooks. I think a month is fine.
Yeah.
A month is fine. As it's the shortest month of the year too, so you
Yeah.
didn't give us anything. Thank you.
Valentine's Day? No.
No.
Why don't you like Valentine's Day?
It's not that I don't like Valentine's Day. I've never had a reason to celebrate it. It's is it a celebration? I don't even know what it's actually for. You know how like usually these holidays come from like an actual
There's a history
pagan
behind
holiday.
it. Yeah, Saint Valentine.
Saint
something like that.
Valentine,
Yeah,
right? Love, things like that. I think.
Do you believe in soulmates?
I do.
Yeah?
I do believe in soulmates. But I think I think they're changeable though. So like I feel like we have multiple soulmates
Yeah.
out there, and I think it has nothing to do with like you necessarily. I think it has everything to do with like, I hate to say this word, but like the vibe. I know, but like it's the energy. It's the energy between like two people like that. You know, as far as it goes, that's soulmates. I
Yeah.
mean, I love that idea. What about you?
Okay, well, there's 7 billion people on the planet, right?
Right.
And so I feel like there are multiple people that I would be compatible with.
Oh yeah.
But like growing up as a Christian and everything, like I believe God has a plan for my life in a certain way. And so that plan depends on also who I end up with, because your life can go in whatever directions depending on who you end up with. So I feel like regarding that plan for your life, that person is there for you. But I feel like there's a ton of people that I would be like, even if it's just 4. There's people that I would be compatible with, but I feel like there's one specific person for me.
One specific person. Yeah, I think it's easy to fall in love with just about anybody as long as they're literally not annoying you. I mean, the amount of time you can spend with a person, and first of all, how young we are, and also the way our brain works. Like the amount of time you spend with a person, you could do just about anything. I mean, you like a week straight with the same person. By the end of that, you're married.
Or you're married.
You're married or you hate them. Like it honestly depends. And I like that one specific person. But out of 7 billion people and there's only 3 million in America, I'm not gonna find him here. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna travel. I'm gonna find them here or something. Like I'm gonna travel.
That's interesting. So you're not doing anything for Valentine's Day or anything?
I could go to work.
Yeah, I'm working. That's what I'm doing.
I could go to work. I mean, yeah, it's a Friday. That's some money right there.
Not much of a dating person. Not in high school.
Oh, yeah?
Not in high school. Shut up.